Hey everybody, it's Professor Parish. We are on week 17 of English 122, which means we have this week and next week, and then we are done with class. Crazy, right? So I am going to do a video next week for finals week. I'm probably going to post that Sunday because that's when finals week will open up for this class. If you've gone to your course content page and you've scrolled down to the bottom, I'm recording this on Sunday, so if you've not turned in your annotated bibliographies, please make sure you turn those in tonight because they're worth a good chunk of points. But week 17, you'll notice week 18 is not showing up yet. And that is because our college policy is that we can't post anything for finals week until the Sunday that finals technically start. So you won't see anything show up until that Sunday, so until the 13th. So on the 13th, when I do our lecture video, I'll open everything up and I'll go over kind of the last couple of things for our class. But this week, it should be pretty straightforward. We do have an MLA exam. This is the final exam for this class. We will have a final exam, but we do have an exam just over MLA. We've done one on poetry, on fiction, and on drama. And so my dog is wanting me to play with him as I'm talking to you all. But MLA that's the fourth exam worth 25 points. And then next week we will have a final exam, and I'll talk more about it as we get closer. So the MLA exam, if you open it up, it is pretty much exactly like how our other exams have been set up. Once you start it, you can take it one time. It has no time limit, but once you submit the exam, then it will be turned in. You can't go back and change it. So just to give you guys just a sense of what it looks like, there are only 7 questions. It's basically asking you to put things in order. It's going to ask you some questions about which MLA in text citation is the correct one, and then it's going to ask you to do some formulas, and then there's a true and false question. So it's pretty straightforward. It should not be a hard exam. If you use your resources, you have your citation presentation. You have all these MLA assignments that I've corrected for you. You have my video on the MLA citation presentation, and you have your Cengage handbook. So you have plenty of resources. There's honestly no reason why anybody should not make 100 on this. But I have a lot of semesters where students don't make 100. So, what can you do? But that's your MLA exam. The other assignment for week 17 is our discussion forum. And this discussion forum is a little different this week. You'll notice it's the last one listed. It's our last discussion forum for the class. How it works is that you are actually going to get to read your peers' papers. So what you'll do is you will post your draft of paper 4 to the discussion forum by Friday. I'm going to actually change that. I don't know why it's all messed up. Let me go here and change it for y'all while I'm in the discussion forum. We're going to change this. So it's going to be the peer responses. You're going to read you're going to post your draft by December 11th. I'm going to change it up here. At 11:55 p.m. you need to post your draft, and then you'll respond to 2 peers by the 13th, which is Sunday. So I've had a lot of students ask, okay, well, let me change it back to student view. How long does our draft have to be to go in the discussion forum? And that's a very good question. If you want to receive full points for this assignment, then your draft needs to be at least halfway done. Meaning that if the draft has to be at least 8 pages, you need to have at least 4 pages done for this draft. Now, I would encourage you to get as much done as possible, because this final paper, you won't get a chance to revise it. Once I've graded it, that's the final grade on it. You get to revise papers 1 through 3, but this last paper you don't get to revise. This is basically your chance to do any revision process. So if you turn in your draft and you've got 8 pages and are works cited, I'll go through and give you revisions to make so that hopefully you make 100 on that final paper. But if you don't have 8 pages, that's understandable, but you need to be at least halfway done with 4 full pages to get that part of the assignment. And then I'll give you my feedback, and then if you include your works cited page and in text citations, I'll give you feedback on those as well. My rule of thumb is get as much as you can completed so that I can give you as much feedback. The less you have completed, the less feedback you're going to get. And this paper is worth a lot of points, so ideally try to get as much done as you can, but at least 4 pages. for the peer responses, what I'm looking for is don't just say, oh, that paper was great. That doesn't help anybody. Everybody has, and myself included, because I'm taking classes right now as well, everyone's writing can always have some feedback. Always. Even if it's positive feedback. I mean, you can say, tell that person what is good about their paper. If you're like, oh, your paper's good, don't just say that. Say, hey, I really liked your introduction. In this one paragraph, you talked about this, and it was really, really good, and it connected back to this, and that was awesome. And here's some other examples of why your paper was good. Like, give the writer some acknowledgement of what they're doing right, and then don't be afraid to tell them if there's something that seems off. If you're like, hey, that transition from paragraph 4 to 5 was kind of clunky or kind of odd, maybe go back and relook at that. I would consider that very constructive criticism. If somebody was like, hey, you need to change up that transition, I'd be like, okay, cool, let me go fix that. Because sometimes, even the best writers, we get into our own heads. Our brain doesn't acknowledge when something sounds weird sometimes after we've been writing for a long period, and so it can be easy to overlook mistakes. And that's why the peer review process is so important, because your peers can point out things that they notice that your brain has skipped over in the process of working on other things. So give a detailed response as to what you like about their paper. You're only looking at 2 drafts, so it's not like you're doing anything extra than what you'd already be doing for this assignment. But give some good feedback. Give some constructive, detailed feedback. And then make sure your paper is at least 4 pages long in order to get full credit on this assignment. But students really seem to like this part of the assignment because you not only get to read what everybody else has been working on, but since it's the final paper, the papers are usually pretty in-depth, and so they're interesting. There's like a variety of topics in this class, so I have no doubt you're going to find a paper that you're going to want to read for this final discussion forum. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The MLA exam and the peer review for this week. Please note, and I'll go back to the discussion forum, don't just copy and paste your paper. Do not copy and paste your paper into the forum. 1, your paper, if it's 4 pages long, that's going to be a big old post. But 2, I can't edit and look at the formatting if you copy and paste. So what you want to do is add a post. Click this add post button here. Let me go back to a regular view and show you all how to do this. If you don't know how to attach a paper, all you do is you add a post, and then you give it a title. You can write whatever you want here, like tell us what you're looking for, what you want us to look for. And then where you see this button that says from my computer, you're going to click that, and it's going to give you this button that says choose files. And you're going to go to your computer, and you are going to choose, like I'll just download this document from another class. Now, here's the big thing. This is very, very important. Once you've chosen your file, you'll see it right there. Click the add button. If you don't click the add button, it will not add it to your post. So it's very important that you click that add button. Now that I've clicked it, you can see that it's a link and it's blue. If I accidentally uploaded the wrong file, I can click this trash can icon and it'll delete it and I can try again. But if it's the link that I want, then I can click submit and it will be attached to my discussion forum post. That's how I want you to submit your papers. That makes it easy for me to open up, it makes it easy for your peers to open up, and it allows us to edit and give feedback in a very organic way. So that's how I want you to do the discussion forum posts for this week. But overall, it shouldn't be a hard week. The MLA exam should not take you long to do, and then by Friday of this week, you just need to have your draft posted, and I'm going to go through and look at everyone's drafts and give you feedback before finals week when the final draft will be due. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. Feel free to email me. I'll be in and out of the office this week, but you can feel free to email me with any questions. But overall, we've only got 1 week left after this. Crazy, right? So in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe and take care, and I'll talk to you all again very soon.